And now we're moving to the last part of our first day of our forum here. It's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Merin Rajadurai, Special Advisor to the Secretary of Science and Technologies at the U.S. Department, at the U.S. State Department, who will share with us his views about our bilateral relations in education and research, and how science and technology in general can advance societies by bridging social gaps and bringing prosperity. Good afternoon, Mr. Rajadurai. It's a pleasure to have you with us today, and the floor is yours for your address, and then I will follow with some questions.
Great. Thank you so much for this special welcome, and to the distinguished guests here today. I'm honored to be part of the first Thessaloniki Future Thinking Dialogue, and to share in 200 years of friendship between the United States and Greece. Thessaloniki is a symbol of innovation for the world. Since antiquity, this civilization embodied the pillars of innovation through extraordinary breadth and depth of knowledge, visionary people who sought the ethos of creativity towards generational prosperity, and the highest standards of excellence for entrepreneurship. Now, in the 21st century, Thessaloniki is positioned for valuable investment to maximize the applications of science and technology as it reemerges as a global leader. Innovation is the best of us, born from the entrepreneurship in all of us. As we explore the elements of innovation at TFTD, I begin by illustrating an analogy for entrepreneurship through sports that Greece inspired thousands of years ago with the philosophical essence of democracy. The success of sports comes from holistic, inclusive participation in the game. The athletes, the spectators, the infrastructure, the rules, the competition, the joy of victory, the heartbreak of defeat, all converging to resonate oneness. Sports is the ultimate pursuit of perfection in performance, and only so because of the ecosystem in which it exists. The same is true for the future of innovation. Entrepreneurship is a state of mind. Oneness. To find solutions to challenges is a time immemorial pursuit of humanity. Whether it is for the convenience of daily individual tasks or a way to empower societies at large, innovation is built upon the entrepreneurship of all people, and with the catalysis of the ecosystem that consists of government, industry, university, and community, becomes the foundation for investment. Greece is at the nexus of Europe, Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. This region will become an anchor for innovation as appropriate investment comes. People seek forms of connectivity to other people, places, products, goods, and services. Investment in Thessaloniki for its life science, information and communication, transportation, nanoscience, energy technologies, and many other sectors will develop not only urban areas, but also suburban and rural areas. Science and technology will assist the innovation towards the quality of life that is the 21st century industrial revolution. Entrepreneurship must, however, connect urban, suburban, and rural communities of people to maximize investment value towards innovation. Fundamentally, investment pursues optimal ratio of return to risk, diversification of assets, orientations for growth, commercialization potential, debt versus equity, valuation strategies, and many other points of analysis. The most important point of analysis is the ecosystem and its readiness for the future. Thessaloniki's innovation ecosystem is ready, as we're seeing today and tomorrow at TFTD, to attract investment through holistic, inclusive entrepreneurship. In order to do so, the ecosystem depends on institutions, internal and external, that become the source of trust for investment. First, government as an institution. The government of Greece launched a number of initiatives over the years to attract investment. Last year, approximately 3 billion euros of foreign direct investment flowed into the country and is shaping policies across ministries to structure and strengthen institutions to promote prosperity nationally. Similarly, the municipal government of Thessaloniki is promoting policies and programs for prosperity at the local level. Technology parks, innovation districts, public-private partnership centers, and more will be a home in which R&D meets entrepreneurship with the aid of government institutions to accelerate innovation in Greece. Institutions of government also address the immediate issues surrounding innovation by removing or reducing barriers to growth, and in doing so with consistency, transparency, and principles of democracy generally, confidence naturally flourishes for the ecosystem to attract investment. For the future of innovation ecosystems, institutions of government will provide transformative benefit through the expansion of government-to-government relationships beyond Greece. Subnational diplomacy is rising to new heights by local governments partnering with other local governments at the governor, mayor, and additional leadership levels at the forefront of urban-suburban rural nexus. For institutions of government, this expansion of relationship provides a vital network of trust for relationships. At one time, cities found a new way of exchange in culture. Then, cities evolved to become a model for cultural economic pathways to trade and commerce. Now and into the future, cities are the nucleus for international collaboration on a myriad of political economic affairs, such as sustainable development goals. No matter the type of subnational relationship between governments, new markets and forms of partnership will emerge. With time, the relationships will find ways to innovate on behalf of themselves based on similarities and differences in the challenges to people's quality of life. Thessaloniki is currently engaged with over 20 cities around the world in people-to-people, business-to-business, and government-to-government partnerships, and is bridging the innovation ecosystem of Thessaloniki with them that will establish future growth. Subnational diplomacy deepens trust between government institutions in a way that attracts and compounds investment for innovation ecosystems. Second, industry as an institution. In the United States, industry forged our nation's innovation ecosystem systematically. Silicon Valley and New York City are preeminent examples of industry's unifying institutions to advance prosperity. There are multiple examples today of industry hubs throughout the heartland, especially as we're seeing with all of these excellent presentations, that have influenced the growth of communities by virtue of being a reservoir of trust for investment. When industry immerses itself, the commitment is not only holistic and inclusive, but also long-term. Along with this comes the institutionalization of cycles of labor, production, and consumption that demonstrate investment into the people. To this end, capital markets form as a matter of necessity to sustain investment in the ecosystem. The trend of investment preference is to shift away from mature capital markets into exploration of new capital markets, especially as angel investment, venture funds, even family foundations have become major players in identifying innovative industries of the future. Thessaloniki holds great competitive advantage to recruit and retain investment because of the range of industry present in the region. US companies recognize the importance of investment in Thessaloniki the same, and continue to expand the impact of all types of business, especially small and medium enterprises, as technological acceleration shapes the modern era. Industry is a premier institution for entrepreneurship and intrapreneurship, as it innovates value on both the supply and demand sides for economic growth. The efficiencies or lack thereof in industry operations is a primary opportunity for entrepreneurship, and the inherent capital in companies provides for merger and acquisition opportunities that promote continuous innovation. Many companies incentivize internal entrepreneurship to do the same. The relationship between large companies, small and medium enterprises, and entrepreneurs is essential to holistic, inclusive innovation ecosystems. Working together, the flow of ideas and joint efforts is a creative force of nature that expands the scope of prosperity. People gravitate towards companies that represent the values they too believe in, and of course, also the quality of the goods and services. This permeates to other companies across sectors and progresses naturally to curate innovation ecosystems in a way reflective of social responsibility, culture, and comprehensive brand ideation that is uniquely valuable for investment. Third, universities as institutions. Greece is a principal reason that universities today exist with stature. Thessaloniki is home to high caliber universities through which the innovation ecosystem breeds. The knowledge that becomes intellectual property, the people that become intellectual assets, and the institution that becomes a leader for intellectual strategy. Thessaloniki's talent pipeline is bolstered by the capacity of its universities, and accordingly, we see the emergence of the innovation districts and all other sorts of public-private partnership. By integrating universities into public-private partnerships and cooperative endeavors such as these, whether it's R&D, subject matter expertise, interdisciplinary projects, etc., the ecosystem will establish intellectual trust that is a treasure for investment. Fourth, the communities of people as institutions. As Thessaloniki continues its trajectory, the communities of people, not only in Greece, but in countries around the world, serve as ambassadors for the innovation ecosystem and will attract investment through the people-to-people ties. The Greek diaspora, especially in the United States, are unparalleled in their commitment to advance the prosperity of Greece and the bilateral alliances with their ancestral home. The creative campaigns of communities of people range from social to professional, advocating for ways to share their culture and mutually benefit one another. In today's globally interconnected world, people are institutions. As the people become communities to share holistic, inclusive ways for a future together, investment finds them. Thessaloniki should be so proud of the people who represent it and ensure that all of them are empowered to assist in development of its innovation ecosystem. Ultimately, investment is centered on people. Thank you very much, and I look forward to the question and answer session.
Thank you, Mr. Rajadurai, for your insightful presentation, and also for your kind words for the prospects of Thessaloniki in becoming a hub, research and innovation hub. I have a few questions for you. I'll start with the first one. Last year, an updated science and technology agreement between US and Greece was signed actually here at Thessaloniki. Could you tell us, please, whether some steps, if any, have been taken since then, and what the science and technology community in both countries should expect from this agreement?
Absolutely. Science and technology agreements are significantly symbolic and provide an umbrella by which we can form all sorts of partnerships, as I had mentioned just now. And currently, the US-Greece STA, as we call it, is under the ratification process in the Greek Parliament. However, once it is ratified, we will be able to work with the public-private sectors writ large to find opportunities where we cooperate on joint initiatives, find shared challenges that we can work together towards. And this will help to bridge university to university relationships, university to business relationships, government to business, government to university, and people to people relationships. So it's an all-encompassing way in which we are symbolically sharing our commitment to the future of science and technology between our countries.
Well, thank you very much. Under your capacity as senior advisor, how you see the role of research and sciences in advancing international relations? Are there any obstacles at this time, and what should be done in order to overcome them?
I think now is a perfect time and confluence of opportunities whereby science can help to strengthen international relationships, especially as we see the global challenges around the world. We must think globally and act locally. And one of the ways in which we can do this is by thinking about how different shared challenges, and for example, the Sustainable Development Goals, requires efforts on behalf of all of us in our communities. However, to contextualize it, we must understand the implications are far-reaching, and there is no localized sort of challenges. It is a global endeavor. And so that's one form in which people can come together around science to think about solutions to those challenges.
Uh, what are the programs the U.S. State Department has in place concerning the advancement of international cooperation on technology and sciences? Do this program include public and private partnerships, not only in the U.S., but also internationally?
Absolutely. So, public-private partnerships are a bread and butter example of what we do with science and technology. Another example I'd like to share is our exchange programs. You know, we pride ourselves on having an opportunity to share our innovation ecosystem with innovators and entrepreneurs and thinkers and anyone who wants to come and experience all the different elements of it. And I believe those exchange programs are one of the most vital partnerships and programs that we have to advance science and technology and innovation into the future.
Thank you. We all know that education is a pillar for major for prosperity of any country, actually. How the educational system in the US is being prepared for the future, where there will be an increasing demand for scientists and engineers?
Great question. Thank you very much. So, when we look at education and the foundations of knowledge that are necessary for the future, we talk at length about STEM education. And STEM is, of course, vital, and it starts from the fundamentals of math and science from youth, K through 12, secondary, higher secondary, and on. However, as we look to the future and think of how science and technology is shaping so much of the way we live, work, and play, one consideration that we have really focused on is that interdisciplinary approach to academics. And in addition to that, providing integrated curriculums in which we can create internship programs, apprenticeship programs, ways in which students can understand and appreciate the real life value of their academic studies. And we hope that that inspires students to not only imagine the future that they want to build, but also endue a sense of purpose, meaning behind the work that they do, because it's only when they can see from a 30,000 foot perspective how their unique work or studies is impacting the world, will it really help to motivate someone over the course of their lifetime. And so we hope that we can foster that at an early stage, and that's something that we hope to share with the world too.
Good. I have prepared, quite many questions, but we don't have so much time. But anyway, I have one last question for you. What, to your opinion, are the top fields of science where research will be performed most in the next decade? And what are the necessary skills employees need to have for a successful career?
Great question. So as we've seen the advances of technology recently, artificial intelligence, 5G, among others, one area I would like to highlight is quantum. Right now, quantum sciences and technologies are very much at their nascent stages. However, there is extraordinary work happening around the world, collaborations in which scientists and technologists and innovators and entrepreneurs are coming together to understand not just the future of quantum information sciences, whether it's in the form of quantum computing, but thinking about the applications of problem solving that will be significantly enhanced because of quantum. And in order to understand and really be successful in this field, again, one of the qualities that we hope to nurture is the love to learn to learn. Learning is a never-ending endeavor, and especially with fields such as quantum or any science and technology, the importance is understanding that there's always more to continue pursuing. And I go back to the foundations. In addition to the STEM education, something that we emphasize as part of interdisciplinary study is STEAM education. And so the added A is a capital A for arts, really to capture all of the humanities and other studies that aid in the creative pursuit of maximizing the impacts of science and technology. And so really coming to quantum or any other sort of field with that appreciation for how there is an interdisciplinary impact with any course of study that you pursue. That is what will make for the best innovators of the future.
I totally agree. Well, I'm tempted to ask one more question here. We are observing a rapid shift in US administration policies regarding mainly environment, international relations, inclusiveness, and social prosperity and cohesion. In your opinion, how science and technology can play an extensive role in the successful implementation of these policies?
Oh, thank you. One of my greatest loves of Greece is the birth of so many philosophies that have shaped civilizations for the past thousands of years. And when we talk about the future of technology, one of the most important elements of coming together, unifying people again around shared challenges and really finding commonalities as humanity is thinking about that ethos of democracy. And what does that mean? All of the principles that come with it, whether it's the openness, meritocracy, transparency, that ability to create equality, and even enshrined in our Constitution is we the people in order to form a more perfect union. You know, these are all examples of how we choose to live. And technology, in so many ways, we talk about the democratization of technology. That is a term that is used frequently. And that takes an active role with all of us coming together again in these innovation ecosystems of finding ways in which we are solving problems with the principles of democracy at the forefront of our mind. And I hope that that's something that we can work together on.
Well, Mr. Rajadurai, it was a pleasure to discuss with you. Thank you very much for being with us today. I'm looking forward to see you live here in Thessaloniki or Athens, but in Greece anywhere. And we look forward to, as an AmCham, representing AmCham, how we can really foster further the research and science cooperation between our two countries. Again, I appreciate your presence and have a very good day.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sorry, I started speaking in Greek. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the end of the first day of our conference. And we're looking forward to see you again tomorrow with a very interesting as well program and good, very, very good speakers. And thank you again for being with us. I hope you enjoyed all the sessions today. And by the way, if you want to see all the sessions, you can go to our website, and we have uploaded all the videos in case you want to see one of the sessions again. Thank you again, and I look forward to see you tomorrow. And I want to thank also my partners here and also the audiovisual support team for